This is a curly maple guitar side that has been prepared with one of my abrasive planer machines, and it's sanded down to about 3/32 of an inch in thickness. That is a point at which I can bend this. What I'll do here is I've already soaked this in water, so we can now place this in a machine. Now this machine that I built is called a pneumatic bending press. It basically operates on these air cylinders which force these sheets and correspondingly the wood over this hot mold. Let's begin by placing the wood under the strap, or the bending strap as it's called. Now we'll apply heat by turning on this switch. I have an electrical circuit running through here which heats this bending strap. And under fairly low pressure we begin by bending the center of the bend. Now I'll give it a little pressure and I'll just let it set there until the heat forces the unit into the right position. As you can see, this cylinder is forcing the center down. Okay, now we're going to let it set for a minute or so and basically cook the wood. We're heating the fibers, and the fibers are becoming loose. They're composed of lignin, and the material begins to soften and flex, and then we'll apply pressure and force it into the waste bend. We can add a little more pressure now. We bring it up to we start at about 10 pounds of air pressure, and then we gradually bring it up till about 20 pounds of air pressure. And as it heats up, as the wood heats up and the heat is applied, the side will eventually and slowly, gradually take the shape of the waste bend. I'm checking to see how far it's along. It's about 1/8 of an inch now from the final curve. Okay, why don't we put the pressure up at about 25 pounds, and we'll bring it down a little bit faster. There we go. Okay, now I release the second valve, which will open these two air cylinders and allow these two air cylinders to force the outer strap down over the mold. And I'm going to let this go gradually. Okay, let's drop back down to about 10 pounds of pressure. Okay, there's the bend. I can bring it up to about 20 pounds, and we'll allow this to cook for, usually I let it cook for about 5 minutes, but for today's purposes we'll take it out a little bit sooner and show you what the side looks like when it's bent. Now with this is called a four-way valve, we release the air pressure on the entire unit, and we'll see how far along we get. Pressure's released. I've just taken this side out of the bending machine to show what the side basically looks like before it's assembled in the mold. Now the side has been assembled in the mold and has been glued up to these blocks, and these pieces of mahogany are called kerfing strips, and they've all been glued in. My next procedure is to take a sanding board and sand all of these kerfed pieces of mahogany to accept the back, which is here. This is a Cocobolo back, which has been glued to these arched braces. Each of these braces has been arched. And now I have to sand the sides to accept that arch. To do that, I use this sanding board, which is basically nothing more than sandpaper, and it is arched to conform to the back. I've done most of this before, and when I take it off, you'll see that I'm ready to take the back now and place it on top and basically line this up using an inspection mirror here. Once I've lined it up, I can then mark the position of the braces on the back. I've done that side already. And then I can flip the back over, and you can see these are positions where I've marked, and now I have to cut these braces and fit them to the kerfed members here. Now with a chisel, I begin to tap off these pieces, these end pieces.
Even when you're done with that one, just back off. Don't move anything. Just back off and stay there a second.
Now that I've cut all the end pieces off, I'm now going to shave these braces, which are spruce braces. The purpose here is to decrease the weight of these braces so they don't interfere with the vibration of the instrument. Now I carve off the ends. Again, to decrease the overall weight of the braces. It's beginning to look like a brace. I've just completed carving the braces and sanding them. My next step is to fit the back onto the sides. And now I will glue the back on. After having glued the back on, we'll take it and show you what it looks like when we put the assembly in the pneumatic press, which is basically a press that will glue this back onto the sides. I've placed the glued up sides and back combination in this pneumatic press, which basically forces the back down over the sides. And I've let it set in here with glue for about an hour now, and I can release this lever which will lift the press. Let me show you what the actual clamp looks like. It's nothing but air tube that's woven, and this fits around the perimeter of the back, forcing the back over the sides. And now I can take the completed assembly out, and let's have a look and see what we have here. There it is. The sides have been glued to the back, and the braces have been let into these mahogany linings or kerfings, and the back is finished. Now, a second stage of the procedure is the assembly of the neck. This neck is fingerboard, which is ebony, has been glued to a curly maple section, and we have an ebonized maple stripe running down the center. This will then be fine carved using spoke shave, and we'll put a head veneer on here, a headstock veneer, machine heads, and we'll have a completed neck.